What's going on, fellow vets? Brian Reese here, the VA Claims Insider, coming at you live from Austin, Texas. And today I'm going to break down and I'm going to reveal and share everything you need to know about the easiest things to claim for VA disability this year. And I'll also cover the ratings by conditions. Again, Brian Reese here, Air Force Service Disabled Vet. I served from 2003 to 2012. And I'm the founder of VA Claims Insider, the #1 most trusted name in VA disability claims. Check out our website. When we're done here, we've got a ton of amazing free resources for you. Let's go. Okay, I'm not an accredited agent. I'm not a VSO. I'm not an attorney. I have nothing to do with the VA. Everything I'm talking about today is for informational and educational purposes only. VA Claims Insider LLC makes no guarantee of results by using this video, our website, or our services, and your individual results may vary. Before we begin, I want to cover again what we call the VA Claims Insider Golden Circle. Okay, these are the 4 elements you need to have to prove your VA disability claim before the VA. Number 1, you must have a medical diagnosis of the disability in a medical record. Now, that can be in any medical record. Service treatment records, VA records, or private records. Okay. The second part in number 2 and 3 are related to each other. If you have a medical diagnosis, you need something called a nexus for service connection. Now, nexus simply means link or connection. Now, that link or connection needs to be to something that happened to you in the military on active duty orders. Maybe it was a training accident. Maybe it was a combat deployment. Maybe it was stress from the job, etc. But you have to have something, an event occurred that caused or made your disability worse. Now, the nexus, if you've been out of the military for more than 12 months, I highly recommend you get something called a Nexus Letter from a private provider, okay, which will help you prove service connection. The last part, and this is what determines your final VA disability rating, is called severity of symptoms in terms of frequency, severity, and duration. All you really need to know is how bad are your symptoms and are they negatively impacting your work, life, or social functioning. What are the top 10 most common VA claims? This is brand new, gang, hot off the press. Number 1 through 10. There's over 33.7 million service-connected disabilities, and over 13 million of those are part of the most common or the most prevalent. So here they are in order. Tinnitus, or ringing in the ear syndrome, that's number 1. Number 2, limitation of flexion of the knee. Knee pain is 2. Hearing loss is number 3. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is number 4. Lumbosacral or cervical strain, that's neck pain. Paralysis of the sciatic nerve, sciatica. You can also lump radiculopathy into that group. They're very similar. Scars, general. Limitation of motion of the ankle to include ankle pain. Limitation of motion of the arm to include arm pain. And last but not least, at number 10 is migraine headaches. Now, keep in mind, any type of headache can receive a service-connected VA disability rating. Let's talk about these now in detail. Here we go. The top 10. Number 1, tinnitus. We call it ringing in the ear syndrome. It's the number 1 easiest thing to claim for VA disability. It's when you experience, it's called subjective tinnitus. Nobody else can hear it. A ringing, hissing, buzzing, or other noises in one or both ears. Now, the only VA disability rating for tinnitus is 10%. There's no higher rating, there's no lower rating, and it's ranked under DC 6260. Pro tip, there's no test for this. Now, a lot of times what will happen is you'll get a C&P exam and you'll have an audiogram administered by an audiologist. An audiogram can test for hearing loss, but it can't test for tinnitus. You either have it or you don't. So write a strong statement in support of a claim and explain what happened. When did your tinnitus begin? What caused it? Number 2, limitation of flexion of the knee. Again, this is knee pain. Very common. It affects veterans and across all demographics. Knee pain may be the result of an injury, maybe a ruptured ligament or torn cartilage or other issue. The VA rates knee pain under diagnostic code 5257, and it's rated between 0 and 30%. Keep in mind here, pro tip, there's something called the painful motion principle for any musculoskeletal disability. And what that means is if you have any pain upon flexion or extension of an extremity, the VA is required to award the minimum compensable rating for that condition, which is typically 10%. Number 3, hearing loss. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is hearing loss is actually quite difficult to get service connected if you've been out of the service for more than 12 months. If you're going to go for hearing loss and you've been out of service for more than 12 months, get a Nexus Letter. Now, hearing loss can actually be rated up to 100%, but that means you have total deafness in both ears. It's very common if a veteran is lucky enough to get hearing loss service connected to be rated between 0, 10, maybe 20 or 30%. Pro tip, Nexus Letters. What is a Nexus Letter? How do you get a Nexus Letter? I've talked briefly about them, but you must have a nexus by law, right? Otherwise, you're not going to get service-connected disability, which means you're not eligible for compensation and benefits. Now, we can help you get these if and only if you want them from private healthcare providers, and we offer them through our VA Claims Insider Elite program at reduced rates, 60 to 70% off what some doctors charge for the same service. Join us today, gang. If you're stuck, you're frustrated, you're underrated, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you know you have a VA disability claim that should be service connected, but maybe you've been denied, maybe you've been out of the service for more than 12 months and you don't want to get denied, we can help you, and we can help you get Nexus Letters. You can start free right now. If we don't win, you don't pay. VAClaimsinsider.com. Can't wait to chat with you. Number 4, post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD is the most common mental health claim that's service connected. Now, the difference between PTSD claims and all other mental health claims is that PTSD always has a stressor event. A stressor event, what I want you to think about is, did you fear for your life? That's the litmus test you should be thinking about if you believe you have a valid mental health claim or a PTSD claim. PTSD is rated under DC 9411, post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's rated between 0 and 100%. By the way, the average VA disability rating for PTSD is 70%. The average for all mental health claims is 70%. Again, I mentioned that difference between PTSD and other mental health claims. PTSD always has a stressor event, and there's your litmus test. Did you or did you not fear for your life? Now, should you get a private psych eval? Yes, you should. If you believe you have any mental health issues going on at all, anything, no matter how minor, even if you already have a service-connected mental health rating, maybe you have depression at 10%, maybe you have PTSD at 30%. In our experience, a lot of veterans who have a mental health rating are underrated, meaning you actually are owed an increase based upon the severity of your mental health symptoms and how those symptoms are negatively affecting you. Highly, highly recommend you get an independent mental health eval and a mental health IMO. We have a network of providers in all 50 states who can conduct the private psych eval for you. Again, you can start free in our program right now. You're going to hear from a coach in 15 minutes or less, a coach that's trained in my process. We've helped over 25,000 disabled veterans since 2016 increase their rating by an average of 30%. You are never alone in this fight, fellow vets, and we'll help you every single step of the way You can get started for free right now at vaclaimsinsider.com. Number 5, this is neck pain. Fancy words for neck pain. It's very, very common among veterans. It's rated under DC 5237. Neck pain ratings range from 10 to 100%. It's very common, though, to get a 10, 20, 30% rating for neck pain just because at the higher ratings, the symptoms are so severe. So, for example, at the 100% level, your entire spine must be frozen in an unfavorable position. This means you can't move at all. Remember, though, the painful motion principle. So if you're at your C&P exam and the provider asks you if you have pain upon motion, well, if you do, absolutely tell him or her yes and make them stop if there's pain. Okay. Now, if you don't have pain, well, then you need to tell them that too. Okay. Number 6, sciatica. The number 6 easiest thing to claim and most commonly claimed service-connected VA disability. Sciatica is radiating pain through your sciatic nerve, which is the largest and longest nerve in your body. Sciatica is rated under diagnostic code 8520, and the ratings range between 10 and 80%. Now, if you filed for sciatica or you're going to file for sciatica, the C&P examiner is required to conduct a range of motion test using a device called a goniometer. Again, make him or her stop as soon as you feel pain. The number 7 easiest thing to claim VA disability, scars. Very, very common. Scars come in all shapes and sizes. They can result from accidents, burns, surgeries, acne, illness. Here, I'll show you a nasty scar. So this is my right index finger, and I'll hold it up, and you can see some of the scarring. I've had 3 surgeries on it, and this is an example of limitation of flexion, pain, and scars. Now, one of the things that I did for my own disability claim is I uploaded pictures, photo evidence, so that the rater could actually look at the scar and get an understanding of what it looks like, how big it is, where it is, and how it affects me. Now, scars range between 10 and 80%. However, the average rating for scars is 10%. And that pro tip, I'm telling y'all, take pictures of your body, wherever your scar is, and upload them in support of your disability claim. Number 8, ankle pain, limitation and range of motion of the ankle. It's rated under diagnostic code 5271. Limitation of range of motion for the ankle falls between 10 and 20%. The highest rating you can get for ankle pain is 20%. Again, don't forget about the painful motion principle, because if you have pain upon movement, 10%. Number 9, limitation motion of the arm, very similar to the previous one. This is arm pain or frozen shoulder. It's rated under diagnostic code 5201, limitation of range of motion of the arm, and it's rated between 0 and 40%. Okay, the highest scheduler rating you can get for arm pain is 40%, and it all depends upon range of motion, and they should measure the angles using that goniometer. Okay, remember that the painful motion principle also applies to this one. Last but not least, headaches. Migraine headaches in particular are number 10. A migraine is one type of headache that causes throbbing pain, pulsating sensations, usually on one side of the head, but sometimes both. Migraines are rated under diagnostic code 8100, and they're rated between 0 and 50%, with breaks at 10% and 30%. Now, the highest scheduler rating you can get for migraines is 50%. And the verb there, which is really interesting to look at the terminology, it says very frequent and completely prostrating, which means you must lay down, with prolonged attacks productive of severe economic inadaptability. That's a bunch of garbage lingo to say that your headaches affect your work and your ability to produce. Now, that doesn't mean you're not able to work. There's nothing in the law that says productive of severe economic inadaptability means you can't work. It doesn't say that. What it says is that your migraines are so severe that they affect your work and your ability to produce. So maybe you have evidence of increased sick leave. Maybe you've got evidence of the prostrating nature that you have to lay down in a dark room and put on soothing music. Pro tip, the single most important word that can make or break your migraine claim is the word prostrating. And from dictionary.com, it simply means to lay oneself flat on the ground downward. Think about it this way. If your headaches are so severe that you have to lay down, you have prostrating attacks of headaches. Now, you can also, this is part of the pro tip, you can document your migraine headaches or any type of headaches using a free app called Migraine Buddy. I think it's available for Android or iPhone, but you can document the frequency, severity, and duration of your migraines. You can then download and print out copies of those and upload that in support of your claim. Now, do you need expert help? Are you finally ready to get the VA rating and compensation you deserve faster? Regardless of past denials, we can help you. Over 25,000 veterans. It's just every time I say that, I get chills. 25,000 veterans we've served directly in our program since 2016. It's amazing. And we can't wait to help you and your family get the VA rating you deserve. Because what happens when you get your VA rating you deserve? Your whole life changes. Your whole life can change in a moment with additional financial compensation, maybe for you and your dependents. Maybe you then qualify for a whole host of other benefits like no property tax in your state, depending on your rating. Maybe you now get free health care for you and your dependents because of your rating. Your whole life can change in an instant. But I can't help you unless you sign up. I can give you free resources all day long. But part of the way I can help determine that you're going to take action, we can help lead you through the often confusing and frustrating process of VA disability benefits is by having you sign up and pairing you with one of our expert coaches. You can start free right now. VAClaimsinsider.com. So proud. Average rating of 4.7. There's now over 3,000 five-star reviews, over 4,000 total reviews. We got your 6. Many of us are fellow veterans, just like you. And the part that I think is so cool, a ton of our coaches are former clients. They signed up with our program, paired with a coach, got them the rating compensation they deserve. They were so elated, their life was changed. They then come back and say, hey, Brian, I want to be a coach. I want to serve other veterans in the way that y'all serve me. That part to me is so cool. I love it. I still get chills when I think about it and I talk about it. We're veterans helping veterans. We're a company of veterans, for veterans, by veterans. The only reason we exist is for you, to help you fight a fair fight against a broken system. Okay, and you can start free right now at VAClaimsinsider.com. Now, before you go, I want to give you a free copy of my #1 Amazon bestseller. You deserve it. It's being called the Veteran Benefits Bible. I'm literally going to send you a free PDF copy in its entirety right now. Okay, so get out your mobile device and you are going to text the message Insider Life, all caps, to 678-506-7543. Again, get out your mobile device. You're going to send the text message, and in the message text is going to be Insider Life, all caps, and you're going to send it to the number 678-506-7543. And when you do that, you're going to get an instant message from me that says, hey, thank you. What's your best email address so I can send the book to you? Boom, respond with your best email address within about 5 or 10 minutes. The free download is boom, in your inbox. You're going to love it. Fellow vets, again, Brian Reese here, Air Force Service Disabled vet. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice to our country. May God bless you and your family. I'm so proud of y'all. I can't wait to talk to you real soon.